Welcome everyone to some more Maplestory. And today I'll be continuing with my Cygnus Knight character, as you can see here, my Nightwalker. And I'm gonna try to get to 4th job advancement today. And hopefully I do, because next stream I want to create a Mihail. Do the first 30 levels on stream, because there's a lot of story stuff around these levels. And then do the rest up to level 100 on the next stream after that. And then from there, on my own time, I will get both characters to 200, or literally a level away from it. So I could pretty much play the rest of their quest. There might not be differences, but just in case, I will, stream it anyway, so. And also, even if the stream is short, I will just switch to my main and get the EXP and stuff. And that's the plan. And also, I said last time I'd get to level 60, but I decided to stop at level 50 because we got the, this quest. But, I'll do that in a bit. First, I want to finish these, this area. And also sound effects are on, so, actually, wait. Maybe turn it off for now, the sound effects. We can have everything else on, though. I just wish that the level up... Oh, I forgot. I just wish that the level up noise wasn't so annoying. Oh yeah, and I think the voice actors, at least during the Ignition update, have yet to be, confirmed, unfortunately. Which is sad, because I would love to see confirmation. I did check, the Discord, the Maplestory Discord. The official one, obviously. And it seems like people are still trying to get, see if there's gonna be confirmation, so maybe at some point there will be. I don't know. Also, while I was there, I did, look into, people's comments from a while back to see if anyone, kind of called out Eckhart sounding very familiar. And, yeah, I saw people's comments on that, which is really nice to see. And then, I saw people criticizing the dub again. At this point, Maplestory's been around for 10 plus years. Why are people still complaining about it? At least the voice acting, come on. It's good voice acting, and if they're new, voice actors, please don't judge them. It's probably their first role. I don't want to be mean. I'm nice.
Open your eyes.
Oh, and speaking of voices, that was the voice of the Nightwalker female. I have not heard the male voices yet. I've only heard the female ones. I actually might create, male Cygnus Knights on Reboot so I could hear all the voiceovers. At least just, the tiny little bits of dialogue. Anyways, actually, there might be a YouTube video on it. Because someone did the YouTube video with the post-Destiny, Explore lines. So I think there's probably one for the, yeah. I'll check, later. Anyways, it's okay, I get its opinion, but at this point I see it so much on the Discord that I'm pretty sure you guys just absolutely despise voice acting in this game. I'm convinced at this point. But also it's why? Nikki sounds so good. Oh, oops. Yeah, whatever. But anyways, yeah. Okay, I should probably not spend my entire stream, like, talking about this. But still, like, Nikki Angler, T-Boy, yeah. Oh yeah, his voice is confirmed. Not only by the GMS community manager at the time, but also by the voice actor himself. And, yeah. I'm so happy to know who the voice actor is. Well, I recognized him immediately, but I wanted to be respectful and wait for the confirmation. What's interesting is when, like, I was talking about it initially, it was literally hours before the confirmation was made. Because literally, like, 2 hours after my stream ended that day, I was on Twitter, and I saw the tweet immediately, and I was like, oh my god, I was just talking about this. But yeah, it's cool. But so, I really, my gosh. So yeah, Nikki's voice actor, like, oh my god. The voice actor did such a wonderful job for, like, that one moment. Because, like, how do I put this? I don't know, is it technically spoiler? Well, actually, at this point, I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's spoilers or not. Oh, this is a claw? Oh, I was like, why am I not seeing my weapon? Oh, right! What's the word? Oh yeah, obviously, as you can tell, my character looks very different. I went into the cash shop and took out some things I got for free during previous, like, event-related stuff. And just threw it on this character. So yeah, that's what happened. Okay. There's something I want to do. Oh, it's just okay. Okay, this is nothing really important. Okay. It's not in the fancy dialogue box, so there's nothing there. Okay. Anyways, let's go to our next quest. Whoops, not that. Here. I'll go here because it'll be quick. Okay. That's fine. Hopefully we'll be able to get to level. Hopefully we will be. Well, I'm by myself, but whatever. Hopefully I'll be able to get to level 100 today because I am a slow leveler in this game. And it's at the point where I'm like, sorry, Nikki, I'm not gonna see you in Karot until like 5 or something years from now because I won't be able to get to 270, level 270. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm almost level 252 on my main. Like, I'm 2% away, but I got lazy earlier and I was like, nah, I can't keep going. It's too boring. Oh yeah, in terms of leveling my main, oh yeah, that just reminded me. I should probably update my scene here to say my Maplestory main again. Okay. I know you guys are hearing a bunch of keyboard smacking, but don't mind that. I don't know. I can't really stop that. Okay, blah blah blah. You're leveling pretty fast. That is fine. I forgot to add my stats. That's fine too, I guess. Anyways. Oh yeah, okay. I forgot. Okay, continuing on what I was talking about related to Nikki Angler, T-Boy. So, like the voice acting, I already like shared a clip of it when I initially talked about it. But once again, I just want to say that like that whole scene where he's pretty much talking to his father, like through the phone radio thing, whatever it is, like that whole speech, the voiced part especially, was very emotional to me. Like, I really like it. It made me, like, it genuinely made me sad. Oh yeah, speaking of which, more people recorded Karot, after I initially watched that one video. So there's actually better audio quality, videos of it now. Which is nice because, like, the video I watched initially was so quiet that I had to adjust the audio in OBS and the editing for you guys to even hear it. Anyway, so what was it? Yeah, it's like very much, oh yeah, and as I was saying, yeah, more videos happen. There's even one with better audio quality. So you could actually, well, I mean, the quality is pretty good. It's just that the level of it is just very low from that one video. Like, it's actually like, oops. But what I was saying. Oh yeah, anyways, like better, higher volume audio, like in some of the newer recordings of Karot's storyline in Global. And there was one where someone actually did stream it live and had like commentary and stuff. And even that person was like even comment on the emotionalness of the cutscene as well. I think so. I'm pretty sure that was like the reaction I picked up on when I watched that. Like, it was genuinely sad. And like, it's like, exactly! It's so good of a performance that, like, you know, sad. Gosh, oh yeah, and also, once again, people criticizing localization. Because some people commented on differences with the... Okay, so basically the Odium storyline, the global version of it. It was in a test server and 2 people were able to record it. One who didn't have the audio at all. And another who had the audio, but it was very, very low quality. And here's the thing. It's a test server. It might change. Like, some parts of it might change. Second of all, please stop judging localizations. Sure, some things are changed up a bit here and there, but it's probably because you people failed to read context clues. Like, at least, like, one point I noticed is like, okay, so basically Odium pretty much puts emphasis on, like, oh, Nikki died during at the end of the Karot storyline. And, basically, in the original, they brought up that his body was not retrieved. While here, it's more like using past tense instead. Which still technically means the same thing. But I guess people care about the little detail because, you know, the trope, if you don't see the body, they're not dead, kind of thing. But I feel like the meaning is still there because, I mean, regardless of the text stating it or not, like regardless of the text saying it, it's like pretty obvious because as we all have seen at the end of the Karot storyline, we clearly didn't see Nikki die. We clearly didn't see it happen. And obviously, it's a very common trope by fans in general to be like, if you don't see the body, the character's not dead in fictional media. Fictional stories, whatever. So it's like, it's kind of obvious. Even if they stated, it's pretty obvious that, like, the trope is in play already. Like, don't you get it? Like, it's pretty obvious. Like, even if it's slightly changed in this way, like, people would automatically know it would still be the no body, no death trope. Like, get what I mean? Okay, I wouldn't say get what I mean, but hopefully I have my point. Hope my point makes sense. Because, like, seriously, like... And also, it's very common a lot, like, in a lot of the stories, fictional stories I read. Or go experience, like, you know, playing video game or reading a book or whatever. Like, I've seen it happen so many times. It's like, do we even need the game to flat out state it? Like, or like assume. I think another thing is that, like, it's like, wait, why would they not retrieve? I don't know. I don't know, I just feel like maybe the mention of saying they couldn't retrieve his body kind of makes me think that it's like they just I feel like considering the angler company in the story, I feel like they, like, the moment they discard someone who outlived their usefulness, they wouldn't even bother. Like, they don't care if they're alive or dead. Like, I feel like the initial writing makes sense a little bit. I mean, or just like either writing makes sense. It just depends on how you see it. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that, like, the trope is so common that it's like, do we even need to state the body was not found? Like, it's such an obvious trope to kind of think, well, they didn't find a body, and because we didn't see the body, he's clearly not dead. And also, it's totally not, copium that I want him to still be alive. Nope, totally not. But genuinely, I hope he's, like, not actually dead in the storyline. Okay, game, please. I'm really hoping so, because... like, I really like Nikki. He's, like, my favorite of the antagonist post-Tenebris. Yeah, River City was released after Tenebris. Oh yeah, I find it weird that when his voice actor, you know, confirmed, you know, being the voice of him, Nikki, I find it interesting how he kind of, like, his tweet was strange because he kind of treated, like, Nikki and T-Boy as separate characters. But I think that was primarily because of spoiler reasons. Because, technically, you don't find out truly that Nikki and T-Boy are one and the same until Karot. Like, well, I mean, you were introduced to Nikki, and then, like, near the end of Karot, that's when you realize they're the same person. But still, like... I think what's interesting the most is the fact that our character does not comment. And in all translations, in all text of the questline, our character doesn't comment, huh, he kind of looks like Senya. Could this be Senya's sibling? Oh yeah, I guess that's also a thing. Like, to us, the players, we would put 2 and 2 together and realize that like, Nikki and T-Boy are the same. Without, like... But I feel like, I think, oh yeah, because, like, Nikki looks like his sister, literally. I think that's, like, an automatic, like, confirmation that, like, if you put 2 and 2 together, like, if you did Reverse City, know about, like, Senya has a brother at that time. Knows he has a scar on his face because, like, the illustration at the end shows it. I think it's a pretty clear indication that, like, these two, like, actually, like, I'm pretty sure it's, like, a pretty clear indication that, Nikki is T-Boy based on those, like physical details. Physical appearance details. Like, you know, looking similar to having similar appearance to Senya and having the scar on the face. It's pretty clear. Like, you know. Oh my gosh, I can't get over that. Like, okay, like when I was like stopped playing Maplestory for a while at the time, like before Karot was even releasing Global and Destiny. Well, the Destiny update in general. Like, what's interesting? Okay, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, post-Destiny, okay, sorry, my brain stopped working. Okay, so, oh yeah, now I remember. So I think it was, like, around the time, like, like, a year, wait. What was the Destiny update? Oh no, it was earlier this year. It was before I did the Tenebrous Part 1. I think. I may have forgotten. When did I start playing Maplestory again this year? Well, whichever VOD was the first one of 2022, I guess. But like... Oh yeah, before I do third job, I'm gonna make sure I do this entire questline first. I don't like incomplete quests. Okay, what else was I saying? Okay, basically, whenever I got back into Maplestory and stuff like that, like, it was before the Destiny update was releasing Global. And, oh yeah, it was definitely after Karot was in, the KMS server. I think what's interesting, is that, not interesting, but I remember, like, going on the wiki, because, like, I think I was, like, reading through it, and I was so surprised that it was very detailed. I was like, wow, you guys really went through all the effort to make it really polished. I really like it. And also, while I was on there, I was, like, on, like, T-Boy's page. I think it was before, like, they changed the tagline of the page. Wait, did they? Or, I don't know, I swear I saw it say Nikki Angler now, but... But anyways, so, like, I was on T-Boy's page, and then that's when I saw the tab that says Nikki. I'm like, oh, that's what he looks like. And when I scrolled down, I saw his NPC portrait art. And when I saw it, I was like, he is so adorable. Like, how dare his sister call him ugly? Like, he's so adorable. No, seriously, he really is so cute. I literally saw him, and I was just like... I know he's supposed to be an antagonist, but I can't help but imagine seeing him as a hamster trying to be a villain. It's like, I am evil, fear me. And I'm just like, okay, sure, sweetie, whatever you say. But still, he's so adorable. And then we also have Laha. Okay, honestly, before, like, Odium was even released in Global, I was kind of thinking her name would be spelled differently because of the pronunciation and all that. But, to my surprise, they actually stuck with Laha Angler as her name. It's not a bad name, it's just that, like, saying Laha is really odd to me. Anyways, as I was saying, so, like, yeah, Odium, my gosh, it was interesting, like, to know that, like, this angler, oh, that was the voice of the character. The voice isn't that bad. I don't understand why people are so mean, or criticizing so harshly. Anyways, oh yeah, anyways, like, Odium, like, pretty much solidifying that, the Angler siblings aren't all actually related to each other. It's like, I think the idea that they're implying is that, Alter Angler, the dad to, Kozim, Senya, Nikki, and Laha, apparently took them at an unknown time and pretty much experimented on them to be cyborgs and pawns, I guess. It's interesting. I like the lore with the, Grandis stuff. I really like the Grandis lore. Anyways, what I was saying. Oh yeah, another thing that's, like, interesting. Oh, I wouldn't say interesting. Like, oh wow, this is so, like, crazy. No. I think what's interesting is that, like, Kosim? Okay, we have Kosim, who's technically an angler, sibling. Confirmed in Karot and more in-depth detail in, what's the in, Odium, yeah. Also, okay, Kosim is an interesting character. For starters, Kosim has neutral pronouns in global. And, yeah, that's cool. But also, people comment on this. I don't know if it's just being, you know, mean, or they genuinely are confused with the translations from fans when discussing KMS content. I don't know. It's weird. People are strange. But like, I feel like neutral pronouns make sense because from what I learned, Korean, the Korean language, doesn't have pronouns. Like, that, like, they don't exactly have specified pronouns, I think. So if there's, like, any different usage in fan translations, it's probably just for, like, being able to know who's being referred to a little easier. I don't know. But it's like, I don't mind if Kosim is referred neutrally. We don't actually know much about Kosim anyway, so I hope we know more about Kosim. I think we will know more about Kosim. Oh yeah, and people say Kosim's name is dumb, apparently. But I don't like Kosim's other name though in like the other language. Only because of like I don't understand what the name is supposed to be. Like it's like I forgot what it was. I don't know. I just like saying Kosim. That's why. There we go. Guess we'll take this quest as well. Actually, let's take this medal. It's smaller. Anyways, I really don't have much. Anyways, let's go get our job advancement now. The Advanced Knights Trial. Okay, I do have sound effects. Hello, Sky. It's been some time. I can see you've grown stronger. That's good for all of us. I heard Sky's story well. It sounds like you are making our name known not only to the Knights, but also across the land. Would you please come to Rev? I have news about the future of the Knights, including you. Oh, and we have that other... Oh, we have this. Let me accept this other quest, too. Anyways. You're here. Let's get straight to the point. I want you to become an advanced knight. You've grown stronger and stronger, even after your knighting. I would have you march at the forefront of your fellow knights and show them how strong they can become. More than that, our enemies gather more strength every day, and so must we. Of course, an advanced knight must exemplify not only strength of arms, but strength of heart, conviction, if you will. I believe you more than qualify on both counts, and I recommend you ask your Chief Knight for permission to take the Advanced Knighthood trial. No. Yep, that's a typo. I see it. It's fine. The game has like literally like hundreds and hundreds of pages of script. I'm not gonna judge typos. Okay. Meet the Chief Knight. I've already talked to Eckhart. If you want to be an advanced knight, pass the Chief Knight's exam and prove your abilities. Yes. Oh, if only your voice actors confirm, Eckhart. I could talk about it for days. Not days, but I could talk about it. But I can't. You want to take the Advanced Knighthood trial? Well, I know you've been practicing a lot, and the other knights do look up to you. Now, I can say that you're qualified. Okay, well, if you want to take the exam, then as Chief Knight of Darkness, I'll sign off on it for you. Just be aware you can't muscle your way through this one. It's a test of spirit. You look like you don't understand what I'm saying. To prove your faith, you need to face your inner darkness. Go to the 3rd drill hall, face your inner self, and if you don't die, you pass. Okay, we'll be sent here immediately. Oh yeah, actually no, I'll mention it after this. A strange energy is drawing me in. Should I enter the drill hall right now? Well, obviously, yes. This is my inner darkness? I feel weird, but I can't just let my enemies attack me. Oh, that was quick. Sometimes this makes me wish that they increased the HP considering, like, you know, obvious reasons. So, you've defeated the shadow? How do you feel after defeating your own shadow? I'm... What? This is such a deep line, and this is like, okay. I'll read both out loud anyway. I will not be defeated by my inner darkness. I will gladly walk the path without getting lost in the dark. Or, I did beat it, but I think it's always going to be a part of me. This makes sense to me, but I want to click this anyway. Heh, okay. Darkness grows in every corner of everyone's heart. But if you are a knight of darkness, channel that darkness to do your bidding. Keep in mind that you live in the dark. Alright, your faith passes inspection. Go see the Empress. She'll open a new path for you. Yay!
Welcome. It's been quite some time, hasn't it?
Your Majesty.
Look how strong you've become. I've heard so many stories about you. You have more than earned the right to call yourself an advanced knight. In fact, I have a question about your trials. What did you find when you faced your own darkness?
I learned that my will has to be unshakable. And I think I have to work every day to keep getting stronger.
Indeed. And I have no doubt that you will. Are you ready to take on your new power?
Yes. A new power for you.
I, Empress Cygnus, dub you an advanced knight of the Cygnus Knights. From this moment forth, you stand ready to face your greatest challenges. And I know that you will overcome them. May your honor and faith shine brightly.
Aww. And now we have a job advancement. Quad star. Is this on one enemy? Feel like replace this? Oh, we could do this now. Okay, let's just put a point in everything so we could get the idea. Dark Servant. Summon a shadow copy, right? Oh, wow, you really can. Wow, I have skills so faded you can't even see the copy. Like it's right there. Like, very faintly. You could see, like, right here. Okay, that goes there. Well, this is tricky. I don't know what to put. Can we... We'll check that in a bit. What's this? Night emblem. Okay. Just a little bit of something. Okay, we'll move that up here. Okay. We don't have a quest again until level 65, so we'll mute this. Okay, let's at least turn in this monster rider thing. What the... Oh yeah, anyways, I can mention this now, like, now that I got that out of the way. Okay, so considering that, Eckhart's VA sounds very familiar. I'm not gonna say it, just in case. Because of the familiar voice actor case, people are also commenting on Will's voice actor. And if some of you have forgotten, Will is one of the... Does past tense count now? But basically, Will was a commander of the Black Mage. Was, because we're now in post-Tenebrous era of the story. And, yeah. Oh yeah, we do actually know who, Will's VA is, officially. Okay, I forgot this is Windows Quest. But yeah. Oh my goodness. What is my inventory? Oh dear. I guess we'll do this. It's the only thing I can do.
You're not ready.
Oh. Oh yeah, this is my first time even hearing any of the voiceover for Nightwalker, obviously. Because I didn't mess with skills at all when I was messing like with the update after I finally got back to playing the game. But yeah. The voices aren't that bad. I was surprised, but I was very accepting of the voices. Okay, I have done this storyline so many times. I've done it at least on every single character I have, and that's like 47 characters. You can understand how tired I am of going through these, themed dungeons by now. But I need the EXP. I want to get to level 100 today. Blah, blah, blah. What else to say? Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna flat out say it, but I just find it interesting how, like, because, you know, people are recognizing, you know, who is, you know, potentially the voice actor of Eckhart, and are, like, also pointing out, like, the voice actor of Will as well, and, if you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. But, even if you know, please don't say it in case, like... Because NDA, I'm not even sure how it is for Maplestory, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Because in this chat, and stream, and recording, whatever, We respect NDA. And if you people don't know what NDA is, it's basically a contract. How do I explain it? Basically, for example, like a voice actor, they would voice in a video game. And until the game is released or there's like some sort of official... I just realized, wait, no. Wait, no, that is right. Anyways, basically NDA. If a voice actor's under an NDA, it's basically like this. Like, okay, so the voice actor would voice in a video game, for example. And the game, like, let's say it's scheduled for release 6 months from when they're recording the voiceover lines, the voice acting. And basically, after they... Okay, this is under the assumption that they already got the role, obviously, because why else are they recording the lines? And basically, after they're done recording, or actually, no, the moment they get the role, it's like, congratulations. Well, not, I don't think it's like congratulations, but it's like, you got the role. And as far as I know, okay, let me start this explanation over. So basically, NDA for voice actors. For example, like, let's say they got the role. And obviously, when they got the role, they're immediate... Actually, I don't know when the NDA starts. I think the moment they audition is the moment they're under NDA. But basically, the NDA. Okay, let's say they got the role. They got the role. Yes. And they record for that role. And let's say the game's not released for another 6 months or something. So obviously, yeah, that's the thing. And, part of the NDA is that, oh, you should not announce until blah, 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 blah. Or when we give the A-OK. And so basically, in that case, the NDA lasts, for this example, when the game releases. But, like, sometimes it's strangely... It depends on the contract, too. Like, I know some cases, like, have it announced... Like, they're allowed to announce, like... How do I put this? Like, I know some cases, like, they let they're allowed to announce if the trailer drops.
Open your eyes.
Like, the trailers drop. I know that other cases just, like, let them wait till the game releases, but they end up announcing them again anyway, even if they already, like, were allowed to announce.
Guardian of darkness.
Basically, the point being an NDA is, like, the voice actor can't say anything until a certain point, because of the obvious reasons, so... And if they break that contract, or if, you know, someone kind of ends up leading to the contract being broken, well, they pretty much lose the role for good. And are probably banned from ever voicing in any product that the company of the game works on. I think. I actually don't completely know. But it's like something like that. Like, that's at least the extent of what I know. It's probably a little more detailed than that, obviously. But for the most part, that's more or less what an NDA is. I think what I'm especially happy to see, like, when the voice actors are able to confirm that they're the voice of the characters, is that they get to retweet and see all the fan... Like, well, mainly just retweet, because they can see the fan art fine. They just can't, like the fan art, and, like, or retweet it, because people will think, oh, you must be the voice of so-and-so. And that, yeah. But they get to retweet all the fan art and, like, be like, wow, this is a really nice piece and stuff. And also, like, speaking of which, not related to, like, all that stuff, but, like, obviously, you know, like, they're, how do I put this? I don't know how to put it. something I think about, because obviously, you know, these voice actors, they voice these characters. And obviously, one thing that they're aware of when they look at the fan art is the fact that people can get very, attracted to the character they voice. Obviously, actors are not their characters. But but do the actors just cannot help but think, just like, these people are very attracted to the voices we give these characters. Like, I sometimes think about that, because it's like, well, obviously a #1 role is that they're obviously not gonna retweet or, you know, anything NSFW, because obviously, you know, young people probably look at their, you know, accounts when they follow them on social medias. So it kind of makes sense. That and, you know, they're probably not comfortable with, you know, the, you know, the NSFW in general anyway. But yeah, sometimes I just think it's like, how do these voice actors feel having to see, like, fans be so, like, in love with the voices, their voices? And, like, it makes me think. But at the same time, let's not think about it. But anyways, at the end of the day, it's nice to know that the voice actors, they really love the roles that they voice. Oh, I don't have the... I just realized I'm missing something in this game. Well, I can't really do anything about it right now because we're in this area. Anyways, I should talk about something else that has something to do with voice acting stuff. Okay, well, I guess I could talk about, like, fanfiction stuff. Okay, maybe not too much, but, I'll talk a little bit about it. By the way, okay, I kind of bring up fanfictions from time to time lately, because lately I actually got back into reading fanfictions, because, well, I kind of get bored when I'm currently on an art block, because a lot of factors related to it, like, you know, I get so busy in real life, and I just don't have the inspiration. And at the moment, I'm kind of on a creative block, so I kind of just read fanfictions just to, like, look at fan art and read fanfictions just to, you know, satisfy my brain when I'm, like, when I literally have nothing else to do. And, what else? Yeah. So yeah, I've been reading fan fictions lately. Obviously, all you know, I look at fan art. I can't speak. Yeah, I love fan art because nice pictures. Okay, I know, like, obviously I could draw myself, but I don't really draw fan art. At least not anymore. I sometimes do, but lately I prefer to draw my own stuff. So yeah, for example, like this little chibi on the side that is animate, that is bouncing every single time I talk. So it's kind of a chibi.
Ready.
I got my character. Also, I really cannot wait to create Mihail, a Mihail character, because I like Mihail's character class, like story, like his story has been completely redone. I don't think like completely, but from what I could tell, it's so different from the original. I guess like the original, as far as I know, basically he's okay. How do I put this? Like okay, so like from what I remember of Mihail's original story, gosh, it's been so long, but I think it's like he was like he literally had no name. Like, he literally had no name. He was staying with this old man who didn't really care about him, I guess. And, And basically, at some point there, like, he met Cygnus and Nineheart. And they, like... wait. Oh my god, it's been so long. Basically, something with the shield happens, and then basically recognizes him as, like, this man's son or something. Like, the Knight of Light thing or something. Whatever. And, gosh, I really don't remember what the original one was like. But basically... My gosh, it's just, at least, like, the very beginning is... there wasn't really much past the beginning. But it is so different. Like, I could at least explain a little bit of the now, where, like, the whole backstory is different. And his mom has a name and an appearance. And I think his dad, for the first time, has an appearance, too. Like, and... yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, because we're obviously going to be playing through his quest line after I get this character to level 100. Not today though, because it takes like 3 hours to go through like the quest line between like level 1 and like... Okay, we got a completion stamp, but I'm not gonna finish this quest line. I just want to leave. How is this lower in stats? Yeah, whatever. Anyways, next area, because I'm tired of being here. Oh, we have a quest! Oh my gosh, I forgot. We have a quest. At level 65 quest. Wait, what was the quest I accepted? There. We have a quest, urgent mission. Okay. Sky, it's been some time. You've grown stronger. Excellent. I called you in haste because I have a mission for you. An urgent mission, requiring both speed and discretion. Normally I'd assign this to the Chief Knights, but all of them are already deployed elsewhere. Therefore, on Eckhart's recommendation, I leave it to you. The objective, at least, is simple. Go to Helios Tower Library and retrieve a certain book from Wiz the Librarian. Why is that urgent, you may ask? Because it's no ordinary book. I'm afraid there's no time to elaborate. Please set out with all haste. If you're ready, I can send you to the library at once. Yes, let's go. Oh, you must be the Cygnus Knight I've been waiting for. Bad news, I'm afraid. Before you arrived, strangers showed up and took the book away. And I level up. Oh wow, I did not add up any of my stats. Oops. I knew the strangers were suspicious, but they didn't take no for an answer. What strangers? Where's the book? None of them gave their names. They simply walked in and demanded it. I told them I had it reserved for the Knights, but they said the Knights were all untrustworthy and that they would keep it safe instead of you. I couldn't have stopped them by myself. Who are they? How do you think they knew about the book? They dress like ordinary people, but they wore strange devices. 2 of them seemed particularly close with animals. They had sharp eyes, like the eyes of the Edelstein resistance fighters. As for the book, it's very old. We recently found it on an ancient shelf here in the library. I tried to read it, but the language is foreign to me. I do recall hearing the Black Wings were trying to steal it, which is why the Knights decided to retrieve it first. Strange devices, fighters, people who are close with animals. How long has it been since they left here? Not long. They took the book just before you came. You actually might still be able to catch them. I'll show you the direction they went. Please hurry. I'm pretty sure they're headed for the ship. They were just here. I can still catch them. Wait! Oh my gosh. That dialogue went so fast that I had to read it kind of quickly. Let me guess. You're a knight. Why are we acting like we don't know each other? What? Yes, and you must be the Resistance. I'll be taking that book with me now. We're just casually gonna be like, yes, I'll take that from your hands. You're out of your depth. Do you even know what kind of book this is? We can't just hand it over to the knights. If you take it back to Rev, you'll only try to hide it away. The Black Wings want the book because it's powerful. We're going to use it before they ever get a chance. No, it's my mission to prevent that from happening. Your mission is your business, not ours. So, what are you going to do about it, Sir Knight? Nothing rash, I hope. Do you think you can take us all on yourself? It doesn't look like they're going to back down. What should I do? Everyone wait. Oh gosh. Oh god, that is so loud. We shouldn't have wasted all this time. Prepare for battle. What? Uh-oh. It's an ambush. That's to beat the Blackwing henchmen together. Gabe, why are you randomly so loud?
You're not ready.
What? There's a lot of these guys. How's the Resistance holding up? Are you okay? Claudine! Claudine? Eyes up, people. We're not finished yet.
You all right? Knights, you know what to do.
Knights, always butting in when they're not invited. We lend our support to those in need, including you. And I wonder why the Black Wings were here in the first place.
Hey now, save it for the enemy.
Fine. Everyone, please calm down. This place is still dangerous. What should we do? Give them the book. We're going. What? Are you serious? Are we sure you want to trust them? We don't have time. Let's just get out of here. Why are they all so... The book will be safer in the Rev than back in Edelstein, under the Black Wings' noses. They helped us protect it today. They can keep on doing that if they really want to. But in answer to your question, Bryden, we don't trust them. So we'll keep an eye on them, won't we? Thank you. We'll keep it safe, we promise. Good enough for now. And nice moves back there, for whatever it's worth.
All right, mission accomplished. Let's go home. Go report to Nineheart, would ya?
Okay, oh my gosh. I wish the confirmation of the voice was made because I would like to mention it. Uh, anyways, let's finish the quest. Sky, it's good to see you well. Loud. Did the mission go as planned? I told Nightheart what happened. I see. First of all, thank you for recovering the book. It's quite important, and it most emphatically does not belong in the hands of the Black Mage or his minions. What's in the book? The librarian said it was in some foreign language he didn't know. We don't know either, not exactly. All we do know is that it's a research journal about some kind of power. Power? In some way, it's related to the ancient gods. Ah, tying in with the post-Tenebris lore that we have. Well, it kind of makes sense. Ever since I learned of the book's existence, I've studied whatever scraps of the record I could find. Historical fragments, commentaries, but truth be told, I know nothing more about that power now than I did to begin with. No one knows who wrote the book, why, or even when. All we know is that the power it describes is now alien to Maple World, as it were, and speculation has run rampant about it ever since. And then, seemingly by chance, the book itself resurfaced in Helios Tower. As was described it was, I feel like there's a word missing. It was as if someone had put a bookmark into that moment. We don't seek this power for ourselves, mind you, but we absolutely need to keep it away from the Black Wings. Whatever designs they might have on it, I certainly wouldn't wish to see them grow any stronger. I see. Good thing we got it then. All that aside, clearly our relationship with the Edelstein Resistance is not what it should be. We should arrange a place to talk with them as soon as possible. The Empress is always seeking new allies. I can feel the pressure from his voice. Yes, sir. Understood, Nightheart. That sounded a bit forced, which of course was my intention. The right amount of pressure yields optimal work efficiency. But one needn't feel such pressure all the time. And on that note, Sky, the Empress awaits you. She does? Don't keep her waiting.
It's good to see you. I've heard the news. You encountered the Resistance, yes?
Yes, but we couldn't quite get past our differences.
I see. Regardless, you completed the mission. I'm sure the Resistance will understand us in time. With enough hard work from all of us, of course. Remember, you are not alone in your efforts.
Of course. I believe in you, Empress, and I believe in my fellow knights.
Thank you. We'll have much to do in the days ahead. Please be ready.
I will always watch over you. May the grace of Shinsu be with you. Okay, a level up, and we got the link skill to transfer. How'd you like that?
Here we go.
Oh. Yeah, we got a link skill. Oh yeah, I had this so I could have a higher chance at getting things. Huh? I'm just looking at this, so I was like, when did I get that character... whatever. Anyways... Oh dear. We're reaching a point where we don't need all these quests on our thing. Wait. There's one thing I could click. Yeah, there. Let's get this stuff. Okay. How do I go about this? Orbis? Why can't I teleport this immediately? That is so dumb. Well, guess. Oh god, ow.
Here we go.
Oh right, I forgot I could teleport to 6 Pathway Cross. I forgot. I just realized I pronounced that entirely wrong. It's 6 Path Crossway, not 6 Pathway Cross. Whatever, it's fine. Well, we're at the point where I'm just gonna do a bunch of quests and talk about a bunch of stuff again. Also, now that I remind myself, I did kind of want to briefly bring it up, but I didn't. But like, because of like, you know, familiar voices and stuff, I'm reminded that there's this voice actor in Genshin, and I keep forgetting that he made parody songs. Really, kind of, sorta related to the character he voices in Genshin. I keep forgetting he made those parodies. I don't know how to put it. It's like one of them is like a Rasputin parody, I think. I forgot. I haven't like heard of anything about it in like a while. It's weird. Like I've heard about it so much, but I never once like considered, hey, let me go listen to these. Cause it's like it's so weird. And I'm like, well, I don't want I mean, like, I can listen to them, but it's like, oh my gosh. They're not bad. Surprisingly, they're actually pretty good parodies. It's just like, it's a bit much for me to just listen to them. Because I'm just gonna giggle like an idiot a lot. Affectionately, by the way. Giggling. Affectionate term. Anyways, I keep forgetting. Like the first time I've heard them was I've actually heard little bits and pieces before, but I think the actual first time I've heard them was when I was watching someone play Genshin, and while they were like I think they were doing a boss rush, like with like I think the one I've seen was like the one where someone like had was using Ganyu, the character Ganyu, to fight a bunch of bosses, and when they got to the one weekly boss, they the person their pronouns are she, they, last I checked. I'll just say the person. The person yeah, did a boss rush with Ganyu. So when that person got to the boss fight, like the weekly boss fight, because I was part of the boss rush, the person played the songs in the background of their stream. The parody songs. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that was amazing. Anyways, I just remembered. Okay, so this is kind of random, I guess. But like, okay, not related to anything, but like kind of related to fanfictions. I just remembered, like, okay, so literally, okay, I gotta talk about this because it's kind of just like annoying my brain at this point. But I read a fan fiction last night, an incomplete one, because I was curious on what it was. And I wish I stopped reading when I did, because it was the weirdest most out of character fan fiction I have ever read on that entire website to date. And I'm like, why did I read this? Like, it's a dark story, and I was curious, and yeah, it's very out of character. To the point that when I woke up this morning, I decided to read a lot of, like, of the fan fictions I already read and actually bookmarked to kind of remove whatever I read out of my brain. Because what the heck did I read? Yeah, so basically, it was really weird. Especially weird because it's so out of character. Strangely, some bits and pieces are sort of in character, but for the most part, it was definitely out of character. Because I'm like, yeah, these characters would not act like this in the actual, like, source material they're from. But yeah, it was very, very strange. Yeah, and I'm gonna remind myself never to even read that story ever again. Yeah, never reading that story again. Doing everything in my power to get to level whatever. At least quests kind of make the progress go faster. Anyways, that's what I was saying about this fanfiction. It was, oh my gosh, I never want to read it again. I'm hoping to never read it again. Like, also, like, it's not a very well-written fanfiction. Like, no, not a bad thing. Oh, it's fine. It's fanfiction. It's okay to, like, have a lot of grammatical errors. But, like, there was so many of them in the story that, like, I completely had no idea what I was like. Anyways, yeah, I'll stop thinking about that one fanfiction now. It was so strange. I'm not gonna say what it is because I don't want any of you to find, you know, find it. So. Okay, we'll do that in a bit. For now, we should do all this stuff. Oh wait, maybe we should do this so we could, you know, get rid of 2 birds with 1 stone. Anyways, you know, I will talk about other fanfictions. Other ones that are, you know, more wholesome and not weird, dark, whatever. Strangely, it was more weird and extremely out of character than, like, anything else. Anyways, I'll talk about some other fanfictions. Like, obviously, I read a lot of really good ones. Among, like, all the weird ones I've read. And, yeah, and most of the ones I've read and actually bookmarked are really good. And, oh my gosh. And I will say this. There's one fanfiction I have read, and I wish it was like, I wish it wasn't an incomplete fanfiction. Because it's incomplete. And the thing is, it's really good. It's really well written. What? Oh, come on. You teleport me here and then you don't teleport me back. Evil. Yeah, whatever. We'll do that later. Anyways, but like, there is, like, of all the fanfictions I've read, there's one that I wish continued, or at least, you know, finished. Because, like, it's really well written. And also, okay, I don't know how to explain it because I don't want to explain it too much, or else I'll be like upset that it's not continued. But it's like one of those cases where it's like you're writing your story and then you just lost interest, and it's like, well, I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, like I can understand the feeling with my series, but like, it's like a lot of incomplete fan fictions make me think, like, if you guys are gonna write one, like, it's better to put all your dedication into writing it. Like, leaving it, it's like, I get it's like a loss of, like, interest, and all that. Oh my goodness, I have so many quests.
You're not ready.
Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about like incomplete story stuff. Like, it's kind of just, it's kind of a tricky thing to talk, like explain. Cause it's like, what the? Oh, I still have a cooldown. I thought I didn't. I think what I'm trying to get at is that, like, if you're gonna write a story, like, have the commitment to finish it, because, like, in, like, some of the cases I've seen, it's like, you have a really good story, but then you stop writing it for, like, months, years. And it's like, yeah, that's why. It's like, you have this incomplete story that's really well done, but you leave it incomplete for years, and it's like, especially if it has a very messy cliffhanger. Because it's like, it's never gonna finish, you know? I don't know. It's like when I think about that, it's kind of why I have yet to officially announce my series. Because I don't want to end up having it be left incomplete by accident, you know? Like, I don't want to just announce my series and be like, hey, like, I'm going to be doing this thing. And then it's like, suddenly I go off the radar for, like, who knows how long.
Awaken and feed.
Oh. Okay, that's a thing. Anyways. Clearly level up. Oh, fortunately, we're up here. Yay.
You're not ready.
Oh yeah, we're almost at level 75, which will give us the, Alliance quest. But first we're gonna complete all these quests first. And then we can... You know, I just realized, what did I talk about? I think I changed the subject so many times in the past, like, 30 minutes. I can only go back to talk about fan fictions again, because there are a lot of, like, good ones that are finished as well that I read. And are not, you know, questionable or weird or whatever. Now that I'm hearing it, I think female Nightwalker's voice is familiar. Anyways, oh god, my foot, ow. I hate when my foot is... I've been sitting on my foot so long, all the feeling in it is kind of gone, and I had to return to blood flow. Ow. Oh gosh, I think I'm stepping on so many cords. I don't want to unplug my mic by accident. I am so glad that the monster sound effects is separate. I am so happy that's a thing, because it was so annoying for so long that they did that. Like, made it a singular option. It just said, like, I feel like everything changed so much the moment I was able to do that. No, that's left is to have the voice acting be a separate option, so I can actually, not have to have very loud level up noise. But I feel like, I guess it's like a fine sacrifice to not do that. But I do like to lower the sound effects, like the level up one. Oh, Nani portal. Yes, the easy one. There we go. Our next level, but I want to turn in all the quests first.
Not ready.
So, we're gonna not do the Alliance quest yet. Oh, this one is a big map. I hate it. Where are all the enemies? Oh, there we go. They spawned. Wait, where are the clouds supposed to drop? What? Oh. Yeah, they're supposed to drop on these enemies. I swear they haven't dropped that many. Why are they not dropping the items? Oh, they are dropping it. Okay. I was like, they usually drop faster than this, last I remember. You know, something I remember when I played, like, Maplestory, like around, like, the early years when I played Maplestory, is that I was easily scared of, like, the more darker regions of the game. Like, the Dead Mines, for example. Of course, it was, like, you know, thinking about it now, it was extremely ridiculous. That I got scared over something like that and stuff like that. But, like, at the time, it terrified me. Like, the random boss enemy spawning, and, like... I remember, like, there were these, like, you know, there's still these, like, small bosses in the game. But at the time, like, before the Big Bang update happened, so many years ago now, like, before the big update happened in Maplestory, how do I put this? Okay, seriously, how do I put this? Oh, level up again. Yay! Oh yeah, like... Oh yeah, now I remember. Okay, so yeah, like, we had these, like, mini-boss enemies that spawn in a map, and you have to clear certain conditions to actually fight them. Because before the Big Bang update, and before, obviously, things changed, the bosses like, if you try to attack them, they will kick you out of the map. And that did scare me a little bit. And I knew at least, like, one of those enemies was in, like, the Dead Forest map in the Dead Mines. And that was... And, like, I had a small chance of spawning, like, at the time, and I was so scared. Oh, yeah, and back then, it was when, like, the enemies would spawn in any of the maps. But yeah. Yeah, that's something I remember. Okay, now we could go back to town. We had to use this, unfortunately. Okay, let's turn in these quests and then do the Alliance quests and then, you know, figure things out from there. What? Oh, this is not worth it. Not worth to do. I ran out of things to talk about. Okay, now... What? No, don't do that. Permanently increases final damage. Huh. I feel like Maplestory is at this point a game where you don't care what stats you get or like that much. I mean you do, but I mean you don't really care about the specifics of skills. You just like, you know, just pick whatever. Anyways, let's do the Alliance quest. Hello, Sky. How goes your training? Hope your promotion hasn't dulled your passion. The higher one rises in the peerage, the harder the work becomes. All tangents aside, I must inform you that the Empress wishes to speak with you at once. She has an important decision to make. She seeks the counsel of all her knights, including you. So if time permits, or even if time forbids, please come straight to Arev. I still don't know how that's pronounced. Sky, you're here. I can see you've grown stronger. You look so different now than when we first met. Thank you, once again, for believing in me all this time. The other knights have been growing stronger as well, and greater in number besides. So why does the world seem more and more dangerous? Despite all our efforts, the Black Wings remain a threat. More than that, whispers say the Wingmaster has returned. One of the Black Mage's commanders, thought to have been consigned to the history books. There's a feeling inside me, as if a rumbling cloud has taken hold of my heart. Even as the enemy's strength compounds, Maple World remains divided. The rift between ourselves and the Edelstein resistance grows ever wider. Even the explorers of Victoria Island are losing their trust in us. Can we truly defeat the Black Mage? Can I truly protect Maple World? Am I worthy of your faith, or of my crown? Forgive me. Such doubts are unbecoming of an empress. You'll have your worries too, no doubt, and my duty is to allay them, not to throw myself upon the pile of them. Here I am, contemplating my woes when the realm needs me. But before I can make a move, as it were, I need to see the board. I have sent 2 agents to Victoria Island to compile reports on the regions and their people. I would have you go and collect those reports. Once I know the state of the people, I'll determine how the knights can help them. You will meet Hersha in Alinea, then Matthias in Kerning City. If you accept this task, I will send you to Alinea at once. Yes. Also, I just remembered something, and I think it meets the... I forgot about something. And... Okay, the audio is playing. Anyways, I just remembered something, and I gotta make a quick note to, fix it after my stream is done. What do you want? Who are you? Are you with the Black Wings? Not at all. I'm Sky, of the Cygnus Knights. The Empress sent me to get your report. Oh, so you're the Sky I've been hearing about. Nice to meet you. And, pardon my paranoia, it comes with the job. Here's the report. I shouldn't have to say this, but please do be careful not to lose it. I'll stay here and see what else I can find out. I heard you were on a mission to check out all the different regions of Maple World. That's right, and there's trouble everywhere you go. The monsters are getting more and more violent, and the Black Wings are expanding their power. Not just in Edelstein either. They're growing steadily elsewhere. We don't even know where all their new bases are. They're like cockroaches. Plus, there was just this big fire on Maple Island. Not a normal fire, from what they're saying about it. The Empress might have sensed that too. Okay, so I'll bring this up now. So one thing I was like thinking about is like, because the Explorer post-Destiny like storyline, the Black Mage was freed from the seal technically sooner. But it just means that it means that the Explorer storyline is the latest pre-seal broken in the timeline. And I was like wondering, it's like, wait, doesn't this sort of contradict the Maple Alliance creation? So it seems like they revise it a lot now, so it makes sense now, like that it's created shortly after this happens. Okay. That explains why she's been so anxious. How could that happen? What about Edelstein? Do you not know? The Black Wings still have full control of it. The Resistance is still there, doing what they can, but it's not enough. If we really want the Black Wings out of there, the Empress is going to have to send in the Knights and wage an all-out war. I don't know if the Knights alone could liberate the city, but if we work together with the Resistance and pressed the Black Wings from the inside and the outside... Thanks. I'll make sure the Empress gets your report. Thank you. And don't forget to see Matthias first. He's staying in Kerning City right now. You'll know him when you see him. He's big enough to stand out. Can I just cancel this and just go... We just teleport.
You're not ready.
Huh? Who are you? Are you here to train? Hi, I'm Sky. Oh, you're Sky. Nice to meet you. I didn't hear you were coming, but I have heard a lot about you. I take it you already got Hirsch's report? Well, here's mine. Have you been traveling all around like she has? Oh yeah, all around. I'm usually here in Kerning City, but lately I've been bouncing all over the place. I just got back from southern Assyria. And things aren't great there either. Orient has a tyrant in charge, and Minar Forest is running wild with monsters. I know the Knights were put together to fight the Black Mage, but he's not the world's only problem. Oh, I know. We Knights can't solve people's problems if we don't know what they are. I can see why the other Knights like you so much. Alright, take good care of that report. I can send you straight to a rev with it if you like. So loud. Sky, you're back. Please report. I relayed Hersha and Matthias's reports to the Empress. I've looked over the report. Thank you for bringing it to me. While you were away, a shadow of the Black Mage attacked Maple Island. I sent the Knights to stop it. Not out of pride, understand. I believe it was our role to take up the defense of all in need. Our role, and none others. But now I know. I, and the Knights whose power flows through me, do not have the strength to carry all the world's burdens on our own. We need allies, and finding them will not be easy. Few people will trust us. Some will be against us. Many will refuse to help. But I see no other way. Please tell Nineheart I've made my decision. The Empress has made her decision? She was worried that the idea of an alliance might make us more enemies. But the Black Mage threatens all of Maple World, and it will take all of Maple World to stand a chance of stopping him. The Empress has chosen to leave the comforts of Erev and step onto the battlefield. There are many preparations to be made. I trust that you will do your part. A continental conference would hardly be worthy of the name if we were the only ones there. We will invite the leaders of other groups, and anyone else who could garner respect for our cause. Who do I have in mind? The Explorers Guild for one, the Edelstein Resistance, of course, and any well-known heroes we can gather. The Explorers Guild has no leader, at least not in name. However, they greatly respect Athena Pierce. She's gained considerable influence over her very long life. In fact, she's so long-lived that she remembers the days when the Black Mage ruled Maple World. If we can convince her to cooperate, others will follow for certain. As for the Resistance, Claudine is their de facto leader. To be honest, I have little hope that she'll recognize our sincerity. The Knights and the Resistance have different sets of priorities, and that's driven the wedge in between us. But if we can't get their numbers on our side, we'll scarcely have an alliance at all. You may know the history of the heroes who saved Maple World from the Black Mage hundreds of years ago. Individuals though they are, each one of them is an icon. So with all that laid out, I will dispatch our knights to deliver the conference invitations. Sky, I will send you to treat with the Resistance. The Resistance, sir? Yes, on account of your familiarity with them. When you meet them, please be sure to convey the Empress's sincerity. And let me impress the gravity of this mission upon you. Should you fail, I shall have no desire to see you return. Wow. Okay, so... Interesting, it's like, oh, we list out our choices, but we're scripted for the Resistance. And I guess that kind of makes sense because of the food. Or, differing opinions, I guess. What is it? Oh, it's you again. Why are you here? I have a message for the Resistance. A special invitation. Invitation? Whatever. We have nothing to do with the Cygnus Knights. And I'm happy to keep it that way. You look disappointed. You can't be surprised. Our people in mine each have what the other needs, so I'm not leaving until you take this letter. Take a hint. Quit making noise before the Black Wings watchman here. You're not going away, are you? Alright, let's say this. You're a representative of the Knights. Let's see you do us a favor on their behalf. I've seen what you can do. I know you're capable of it. I want to see if you're willing. Your self-proclaimed empress is sitting up there in her cozy little garden while some of us get our hands dirty. You're not the only ones who sacrificed for Maple World. Do you know what sacrifice means? A great sacrifice have the Knights ever made. Alright, I'm getting tired of talking here. Take the mission on behalf of the Knights, or don't. I should tell you up front, you might die. Well, I'm gonna accept it anyway. You really want this, huh? Alright, you've got the job. Listen up. Somewhere in the Black Wings is mine, and I do say somewhere because we don't know the layout, there's a laboratory. A certain child is being held there. Go in, save the child, and get out. You'll be all on your own, with no support, in the heart of the enemy base. I'm giving this mission to you because you're expendable to me, and I still expect you to put the mission before your own life. The most we can do for you is get you to the mine's back entrance. That's if you're still sure you want to accept the mission. Do you? Well, yes.
You're not ready.
This place is tangled like a maze. What are they doing to that kid? I've got to do this. Not just for the Alliance. The kid needs help. Hang on. I can hear a kid crying. If I can follow the sound. It's near here. It must be one of these 4 doors. I'll check each one. Help us. I want to go home. 3 kids? Hold on, I'll be right there. Alright, all of you, follow me. Let's get out of here. Yeah, come on, let's go. I was so scared. Hold up. This doesn't look like a lab. Looks more like a prison. And Claudine said there'd be 1 kid, not 3. Which one did you want me to get? Is it any of these 3? Bad, no time to think now. I'll get these kids out of here, and then figure the rest out later. Oh. Well, I guess I entered the correct pathway, I suppose? Okay. Sorry, I just didn't expect it to be the first door I enter. I thought it was gonna be multiple doors. Like, I think there is, and it's just like, no, nothing here. I thought there was more. All 3 kids are going to be okay. It looks like the Black Wings brought them in from other regions, as fodder for all their horrible experiments. I'm glad I could help them, but I couldn't find the lab, or the 1 kid you were talking about. Don't worry about that. You did the right thing, helping those 3. It wasn't too late for them. Too late for what? It's nothing. Anyway, I'll say you held up your end. And if the other knights are like you, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let me read the invitation. A continental conference. Not a bad idea in theory, although if Cygnus is behind it. I'll talk to my compatriots. Maybe we can work something out. Alright, I'm sure you've got some other knightly duties somewhere. Owen. And we get this thing. Which is still not updated. I was thinking they would update this though. yeah, I hope at some point they revamp the Resistance storyline because now it's like outdated. Very outdated. Yeah, I think I ran out of things to talk about. You know what's also nice about, like, not choosing to recreate a Dawn Warrior? Is that we get to hear, like, one of the other, like, Cygnus Knights, Chief Knights, talk. You know, I kind of want to think about, like, talk about fanfictions again, but again, like, the thing is, I don't want to point out, like, which fanfictions I read. I don't know, because, like, there are people who are, like, how people prefer different ships, or like, are just like not comfortable with certain tags. Like, okay, I will say that the ones I read, the tag, like, I'm not the tag, but the tropes in the fanfictions are not bad. But there are people who are probably gonna be like, this is not for me, so that's why I'm not gonna state any of the fanfictions I read. Should it be past tense? Because I already read them once, but I tend to go back and reread them when I'm bored, so, I don't know. Okay, anyways, back to the topic of fanfictions. There's one I read, which is pretty good. Although it's sort of, okay, obviously it diverts from canon, obviously. But it's also, like, was written before certain updates happened in the original series. So it has, like, some parts of it are so outdated now, or just, like, make no sense because, like, stuff. But other than that, it's pretty good. I think it's because I'm so familiar with the character that their absence, like, I get why they're absent. It's because the character didn't exist when that fanfiction was made. But, gosh, now it's humid in my room. Great. Temperature sucks. But anyways, like, I get that the thing was, like, written before, like, the character was revealed, like, and stuff, but it's so strange. Like, it feels so weird to me, just, like, because I'm so used to the character, like, at this point, so that's why it's, like, their absence in this fanfiction, like, did bother me. But don't worry, it's not a bad thing. It just means that this was written before, like, way before, like, that like, update happened. Oh, come on, I had to walk there? I'm not gonna bother with this. Because I don't want to grind the enemy just to get the drop. Let's go to Aqua Road. Well, I can't teleport there, which is unfortunate. We're like so close. That's why I'm just like gonna walk. I just want to be closer to the next level. Or next few levels. We're like 18 away from first job. Hopefully I could do this within the stream. Because that's the goal, so I could get them do their level 100 stuff, and then afterwards, yeah. Basically, like, if there's any other quests that happen after level 100, I'll just pre-record it. And, I'll just pre-record it along with, like, the Temple of Time quest as well. And I can't wait for it to go through Mihail's story. Anyways, what else do I want to talk about? I guess I keep talking about fan fictions. I don't really like them. Like, the ones I read are really good. And while I was like, you know, kind of skimming through a lot of ones I read, yeah, a lot of people have interesting ideas when they write their stories. Cause like, also like, okay, I'm not gonna go I'm obviously not going to explain it in detail because of the obvious reasons, but I have noticed that people, like, sometimes I wonder, how do you people end up writing mature content? Like, whenever I think of the people who are able to write that stuff, it's like you guys are not embarrassed at all. Like, how? What did you do to your brains to not get so flustered when you're writing that stuff? Because I can't bring myself to read that stuff. Like, sure, yes, I'm an adult. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm almost 25. I'm a year away from being 25. Oh my gosh. Well, less than a year, but that's not the point. And, well, I mean, obviously we're all built different. We all have different, you know, preferences, interests. Some of us can't handle these things. Some of us can. Like, it depends on from person to person. I get it. But still, how do you people end up writing these things without being such a mess? Okay, after about, maybe a few days, I have finally got this character to level 100. It's not fun to level to 100 for me because it really takes a while. But now we've done it, and we're going to be doing the job advancement. So, making sure I have the audio. Okay, we're good. Okay, so here's the job advancement. Oh gosh, my glasses. How long has it been? Long enough for you to grow stronger, I see. Only a few in the peerage could rival you now. But if we might skip ahead to the point, we have a new mission. A rumor has been spreading through Maple World. They're saying Empress Cygnus and her knights have betrayed Maple World and joined the Black Mage. Yes, of course it's nonsense. But the human mind is malleable. It's a malleable thing. No matter how absurd the story, if enough people discuss it together, they'll come to believe it eventually. We've done our best to trace the rumor's origins, and the first such stories came from places near the Temple of Time. Are you familiar with it? There are 3 doors inside, one of them aptly known as the Gate to the Future. Perhaps someone looked through that gate, saw some bleak, hypothetical future, and confused it with reality. And that's where you come in. Your mission is to visit the Temple of Time and pin down the source of this vile nonsense. These whispers are a threat to the Empress and all she stands for, and we must refute them. But the Temple of Time is a very dangerous place, even for most knights. Rather than risk our junior fellows, I've chosen 2 elites, you and Eckhart. I've also called up one of our informants. You will meet our informant Della at the Temple of Time's entrance. Eckhart will meet you there as well. I ask that you leave at once. Good hunting. Eckhart!
All right, you're here.
Oh my god, that's so loud in my ear. It's good to see you, Eckhart. There you are! Sky. Nice to meet you. I'm Della, the Knights' informant.
What's going on?
we've been able to confirm that the rumors about the Knights betraying Maple World do originate from here at the Temple of Time. To be precise, from the Gate to the Future. Is it true you can look through that gate and see what's going to happen? That's a loaded question. But people do believe that, and when they look through the gate these days, they see Her Majesty working for the Black Mage and using the Knights to attack people. Apparently, in the vision they see, she goes by the Axle of Evil. And just to make things more complicated, there's a black fog coming out of the gate now. I can't get close. Not even the Temple Keepers can. I was hoping to have it all figured out by the time you got here, but... very suspicious. All of it.
I'll check out the gate and figure out what that black fog is.
I don't know what it is exactly. I've never seen anything quite like it. I could almost see the vision through the fog, the one time I got close. But the closer I got through the fog, the thicker it got, until it physically pushed me away. It was probably trying to keep you away from the truth.
Della, wait around the temple. Let's move. We're going through the gate to the future.
Ready. Oh dear, that's a lot of, darkness. Let's follow Eckhart to the gate to the future. Yep, there's the fog. Wait, what did I just hear? Is somebody calling me? Wait!
Wake up! In case you haven't noticed, that fog is trying to pull us in.
I lost my mind for a second there. That was... Did I really just see the future? Maybe. Wait, Della said it pushed her back. Why was it pulling me in? I feel pain. It's like I'm falling asleep.
Wake up! You want to step back?
Eckhart! Well, okay. Eckhart! I have to go through the gate to the future and save Eckhart. What the? Everything's getting so blurry. What was I going to do? Where am I? Who am I? So sleepy all of a sudden. Sky. Who are you?
Open your eyes. Wake up. Don't forget who you are.
Melissa, let's make you a new dream. Hey! Stop right there! How did he get past the fog? Well, I have no choice. Oh dear, not these things. Okay. Bit of lag. Are you okay?
I'm okay. The damn thing tried to take me over, but I'm good.
Mind control, hmm? Who exactly are we dealing with here?
Anyway, I guess I ought to thank you.
Think nothing of it. Anyone would have done the same. And remember, you saved me too.
Good point. So we're even.
Guys! We've got a big problem. Wait, what happened to you two? Was there a battle or something?
We're okay. What's wrong?
I just got an urgent message from Marive. It said that the Empress has fallen. What? The Empress fallen? I can't believe it. Is it something to do with the Black Fog? Let's get back to Arive, on the double. What happened?
It happened all at once, just as soon as your mission with your senior began. This black fog came out of nowhere and covered Arev completely. In the next moment, the Empress collapsed. Arev's shield did nothing. The protection of Shinsu did nothing. Whatever that fog is, it's stronger than all of us.
The Empress is breathing. Medically, she's fine. But she's asleep, and she won't wake up. It's like something's got a hold on her mind. Like the Black Fog tried to do to me.
Is there any way to wake her up?
I can feel her power weakening. It's going to get worse if we don't fix this. Remember, she's fragile with that power inside her. This could kill her if we don't do something.
So what are we standing around for? Huh? No, not?
Calm down. We still need to figure out who's doing this.
Have we got time for that?
Wait. I think you might have something to say. Please, tell us what you experienced in the gate to the future.
Shinsu. Yes. What did you experience?
I explained what happened at the Temple of Time.
I see. Yes, the Empress is bonded with all of her knights. Her power is theirs, and vice versa. The Black Fog must have weakened you both, and left her vulnerable.
I'm so sorry. Weak or strong, I still should have protected her.
We have to save her first. Then you can blame yourself all you like. You've escaped the Black Fog once, and saved your fellow Chief Knight. You can save her too. I'm not being optimistic, by the way. I'm giving you an order as the Knight's tactician. Save Empress Cygnus.
Are you ready? I'll use Shinsu's power to send you into the Empress's dream. Is the Empress having a dream? What is she seeing? Empress! That's...
The Empress, what happened? Did you do it?
You're hurt! Was there a battle? Is the Empress going to be all right?
Empress!
Did it work?
You okay, Your Majesty?
Empress.
Thank you.
Oh. Okay, before I continue, I will say, even though I got used to hearing Hawkeye's voice during Cernium, it still catches me off guard. And I think it's the same voice actor too. Oh. Sky, well done. Her Majesty is resting with Shinsu. Sky, you saved the Empress. From a knight in training to a true knight in shining armor. You inspire your fellows every day. Your strength, your courage, your faith. By your example are the knights made stronger. That aside, regarding the incident at the Temple of Time, Eckhart has given me the details. Oz described the strange force assaulting you and the Empress. Do you know who they were, this enemy you fought? No, but they didn't look like the Black Wings. Their uniforms had the sign of a butterfly. A butterfly? I see. It seems we have a new foe to deal with. We're still puzzling out what exactly happened at the gate to the future. But by our informants' accounts, the black fog at the entrance is gone. We're preparing a full-scale investigation. I see. Understood, sir. Take heart. That fog is gone because of you. Ah, and I believe Her Majesty has something to say to you.
You came. How is your wound? I have something to tell you. Do you remember when you first joined the Knights? You worked harder than anyone. Each day, you've grown stronger. You have stood for your beliefs, protected the weak, and never once have you lost your heart. Your efforts and achievements deserve recognition as a shining example to all of us. Therefore, I would like to appoint you to a new position, a new Chief Knight among the Cygnus Knights.
Will you accept?
I, Empress Cygnus, dub you a Chief Knight of the Cygnus Knights.
Let the forces of the Black Mage tremble, and let Maple World rejoice. I got the job advancement. Oh boy, I don't know what to do. Oops. Okay, this is the emblem. What? Okay, the audio glitched. And there's a quest over here.
You're not ready.
I have to get back to Areve. I'm literally right here. Okay, let's pretend we're not in Areve. Sky, I want to tell you something. Get back to Areve. I'll be waiting. We're already here.
Even I barely saw you coming. How's it feel to be a Chief Knight?
You No. It's all thanks to you, Eckhart.
Nah, you did it by yourself. I just taught you some skills, that's all.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for this, honestly.
Good. Those kinds of worries keep you sharp. Just remember this. Don't doubt yourself in front of your enemies. Because any hesitation will put you in danger. You and the Empress. Anyways, congratulations.
Thank you for the tip. And for everything, Eckhart.
We're counting on you, Chief Knight.
Aw, that's sweet. Okay, I did a quick Google search to see if there's any quest past level 200, just in case, if it's not just a Temple of Time quest. And there is. But unfortunately, I will actually save that for a separate video, as I just want to focus on level 60 to 100 here. Although it's technically level 50, but it's actually level 60. So yeah, and this is a good point to end the video here as well. And it's kind of weird because the first few hours of this entire video is my stream, whereas this moment here is pre-recorded. But it's fine. So next time... Okay, this is strange. Next time will technically be when I start Mihail's. Like, start playing as Mihail and doing his story. But the next time I'll be as this character will be when I do both the, like, post-level 100 content. Although it's more like the quest that'll happen in a few levels and the Temple of Time one will be pre-recorded and combined with the last video, so it's kind of complicated. Oh, and I'll also put in the Mihail stuff as well, if there's anything else. I actually haven't checked, because I'm only going to be doing the first 30 levels in the first part of the first stream. Yeah. But I'll figure it out. I'll look it up later. But also, can I just say that... Okay. Oh wait, no, I already said it. I was about to comment on Hawkeye's voice again, but I already commented on it. I think it's the same voice actor. I can't tell. It sort of sounds like it's the same voice actor, but I think they kind of made the direction to make the voice actor go, like, a little more thicker on the accent this time, as opposed to how it was in Cernium. I can't really tell. Also, I really like how, how do I put this? I really like how, like, obviously the quests, like, slightly differ depending on which Cygnus Knight class you picked. And, it's nice, because you get to hear their voices a lot. I'm not quite sure what people think if they pick Thunderbreaker, though, because they would have to hear, Hawkeye's accent during every single scene there's voice acting. I mean, it's not bad, but I can understand people's opinions on that one. Yeah, I think I should end the video here. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.